Then Kenya have a shirt like what Omosh is placing on. Actually, it was a shirt kama. No, kisio exactly lakini inaka kidogo kama.
Kidogo.
Ilikuwa Sports Pesa already ama Kenya Airways?
No, it was not Sports.
It was Bidco.
Bidco's at the back, and then it was the government of Kenya.
It was the government of Kenya.
Yeah.
It was brand Kenya.
Brand Kenya, yeah.
It was brand Kenya.
Yeah. Imefunikwa.
So, I'm trying to see, bana, is there something wrong with my TV? Because I can't read that brand Kenya. On a priority form, we actually have no priority to anything else other than the Sevens team.
Yeah.
So fast forward. So these guys go to Australia. They take the photos, they go to the UK. Monies were meant to be sent within a couple of days. And indeed, the sponsor did actually send the money to go to the union account. Because of the fact that everything has been focused on the Sevens team and the other responsibilities that did not come through. What happens when the money comes in? Overdraft. Ilikutana pesa na overdraft ilikutana hivi.
Fuliza.
Na pesa na overdraft zikikutana hivi, overdraft inashinda.
There was no other. Unajua vile ukitumia mtu before tumie mtu doa nakwambia pana tuma kwa hii namba nyingine. Hii hapa itamezwa.
Sasa tulikuwa tumechelewa. Sasa vile pesa na overdraft zilikutana, kiendacho kwa mganga kirudi. The secretariat at the time decided, okay, in their wisdom, they can try and organize with the bank to now renew the overdraft. But the problem was that because the overdraft had actually just been closed for that month, they needed to do the revaluation process. And of course, part of the process of revaluating another overdraft is that this one that has been closed out was pegged on the fact that kuna pesa nangoja pesa ikakuja.
Ina
Sasa when you ask for another overdraft, ile pesa ulikuwa umengoja imekuja. Ni gani tena inakuja? Okay?
Kuna deal.
Yes.
Mwadhani.
Yes. So the guys
kuna
go to
deal
London.
inaiva.
Yeah. The guys go to London and they ask, where's the money? So unfortunately, at that point in time,
there's no money.
A certain level of truth there have been, guys, actually the money has been paid. Okay? But ilikutana na mnyama inaitwa overdraft.
Yeah.
Na overdraft is a very aggressive fellow. But sasa ilichapa hivi za overdraft, we can get his brother another overdraft, but now give us another 1 week. The communication that was then given was that the sponsor has not paid.
Mwadhani.
Ndio wakafunika nini?
Ngoja kwanza. Si kila mtu akona simu. Sponsor hajalipa.
Okay, tutampigia.
I mean, nowadays, if you actually tell me to go around and get Barack Obama's phone number, I think it will probably 3 or 4 calls. I'll get someone who has his number.
Someone who knows someone.
Someone who knows someone.
Yeah.
So, of course, these guys call and say, okay, but you, sponsor, we did a photo shoot. You guys said there's money that's meant to be coming.
And you
But you guys have told us there's no money.
Our
sponsor
guys
said, Bana, what do you mean there's no money?
I said.
I've sent the money.
Receipts.
In fact,
Okay.
let me do a screenshot.
Yes.
Yeah, screenshot.
Yes. Kaching.
Kwa WhatsApp.
Yes. So the guy say, hapa wanatubeba kipetero kiyesu, wanatubeba kimadokodofia bila avocado. Na hii ni kitu hatutakubali.
He just triggered me with makodofia.
It's a very
yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So the guy said, fine, we need to get audience. So they now call the person who's giving the information in Nairobi. Hey, boss, we need to get a chat. Bana. What do you mean, Bana? The sponsor has not paid. But the sponsor says he doesn't know there's anything outstanding. Of course, unajua sasa hapo, umeshikwa in your lie. So the guy's not picking the call. The guy said, guys, please, we need to talk. This is Wednesday before Paris. No one is actually talking. No one is escalating anything to the board. Thursday. Hey, boss, we need to talk. No one is talking about anything. No one is escalating. Friday. Boss, we need to talk, eh? Nyinyi bana, fanyeni hivi. Mwende mcheze. Si ni Saturday na Sunday.
Yeah, tutamalizana Monday.
Yes, mko na hoteli nini? Mkirudi hapa Monday, iki tutamaliza kwa hapa nyumbani.
Yes.
The guy said, sawa chief. I understand and appreciate the very tough situation that the players found themselves. Because 1, you've been told that you'll be given this money before you come back. 2, you've actually gone around and played the London leg. You've waited, you've interrogated, you've been told the sponsor has not actually come through. The sponsor has confirmed that they've come through. You're now on the eve of the last tournament. And after that, there was meant to be a lull of about 6 weeks before going in for the World Cup in San Francisco. And you're not going to be certain whether you'll make it to that team.
Yeah.
So already you're saying, tulienda Commonwealth, Australia, tukambwe inakuja kukuja. We were told, you guys train for London. Before London will come, it did not come. Before London, when they did a photo shoot, we were told, now with this photo shoot, don't worry, it's coming. It did not come. Then we're now being told this guy has not sent money, but the guy sent money. Upper, something is happening.
Kuna pesa imekulwa.
Yes. So whatever decision that they did at that point in time, I philosophically, I disagree with it. I'm certain there would have been other ways to address it. But now the moment they went on again to now block off the sponsorship.
That was in London.
That was in Paris.
Yes. Paris. Oh, that was in Paris, yeah.
That actually broke any other negotiation that we would have put it with. Because remember, in around 2015, 2016, we already had an issue whereby the corporate circle said that us guys are cocky, cocky in the sense that we get the money from them.
After the conversation.
Yeah. Yes. Hao jamaa wamefura kichwa. Na ni kama wako na pesa ya kutosha, lakini ile pesa tunatumia si pesa yetu, ni pesa tumerithi, unaona?
Okay.
We did not make the money, we inherited the money.
Yeah. Right. Inheritance money itakwisha siku moja.
Yes, na inheritance money imeisha. Sasa tunarudi kutafuta kazi. Lakini kwa sababu tulitukana watu in our drunken stupor during the inheritance money, it's becoming a bit hard. We are qualified for the job, but they're saying that this guy's conduct is
unbecoming.
It's unbecoming.
It's unbecoming.
It cannot be.
And all that somebody had to do,
wamefura kichwa.
All somebody had to do was just answer the phone call.
Yes.
Before, I think after before the Paris.
Before Paris.
And just answer the call.
And explain. And
that was it.
Give an explanation that would make sense.
Let me tell you. When I say this, I'm laughing, but it was not the case then. Wake up on Saturday morning. It was June 2018. Of course, like you'd expect, every board member is watching them. The first game, I'll never forget. First game that Kenya was playing. Kenya versus Samoa.
And that's a game you can't even miss watching.
I can never forget. From the tunnel, you're seeing Samoa in their blue. Then Kenya have a shirt like what Omoshi is placing on. Actually, it was a shirt. Come on. Oh, no, exactly. Like inaka kidogo kama.
Kidogo.
It was Sports Pesa already ama Kenya Airways.
No, it was not Sports.
Bidco. Bidco was at the back, and then it was the government of Kenya.
That was the government of Kenya.
Oh, yeah.
It was Brand Kenya.
Brand Kenya, yeah.
It was Brand Kenya.
Yeah. Imefunikwa.
I'm trying to see, Bana, is there something wrong with my TV? Because I can't read that Brand Kenya. But the thing is zoomed out wide. I'm saying white Bana, but maybe ilifutika. So the first guy comes out like, maybe something happened to the brand. The guy's Ziba. The next player comes in. The third, the fourth, the entire bench. I'm saying, what?
Ni masking tape.
Yeah.
As that is happening, simultaneously, we get a call from the then chairman of the Kenya Rugby Union, Richard Omwela. Guys, what is happening?
I think there's a problem.
Does anyone know what's happening? No answer. Pop, game is done, etc. We're still in shock. I think the bigger shock was even seeing that the branding had been rubbed off, had been blocked off. But what was going to happen was even a bigger shock. So the game was done. We had a quickly constituted call. What has happened, etc. Who knew, etc.
Who was on
what
the ground?
escalation front, etc. Fine. Moments later, that time I think the president was in Canada, Uhuru. He had got to do something. I think some Commonwealth thing in Canada. I think he either got wind of it, or I suspect he must have been watching the game.
Somebody must have.
Somebody said
in
something.
But I'm certain he saw it.
Somebody called him in 6 seconds.
But what we're
Na
basically
yeye apendi ya ibu ndogo ndogo.
yes, but basically we're told, as a board of Kenya Rugby Union, whatever it is that you need to go around and pay these fellows, get it paid. But by the next game, and of course 7 games are interspersed by about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But by the next game, I want to see those boys with that thing of shuttle diplomacy, etc., etc. The guy said, fine, we've had, we will do it. Sawa. Waited for 2 hours, like, okay, crisis averted. Game number 2, Kenya versus England. Same. Yeah. Nothing has changed. And now we're saying that this is
by the way, Hila, which official was on the ground? Because normally you guys would send an official.
Yeah, there was an official. But,
No names mentioned.
No names mentioned.
So
see, I'm giving the background so that we can actually
understand. And that's fair enough. We don't need any names. Yeah.
So
but maybe the guy had gone to negotiate na kambiwa wewe.
It's a really good movie, by the way.
Yes.
Really.
Maze Ruth is like
Kwanza nyinyi mnaniharibia stories.
Oh, sorry. Hapana, si unajua kuna
story. Naisi ajaba. Isi ajaba ni story kweli. Kenya England tumelimwa pia hapo.
Hey.
So, boss, what's happening bana now? The team manager is called, everyone else is called. Okay, guys, 2 games in a row. Crazy stuff. We must ensure that this does not happen again. Now we get a call from the fellows in charge of execution because the government had put in some money because we're trying to prep the team ahead of the World Cup. And now they're saying, you guys have decided that because it's the government of Kenya, you can tell, in fact, there was you can tell your team to block off that brand Kenya thing. So is this basically, and it gets, interesting. Is it because, is it a protest? This is 2018, a year after the elections. Is it something to politically give a statement after the elections last year?
Yeah.
Who has given you these instructions? Why are you guys doing this and that kind of stuff? But anyway, the bottom line, we're told, is whatever allowances. So you guys you've got a board of directors. Whatever allowances is spending, you're out 10, 11 guys. Changeni, says wewe let you up 100,000 or 200,000, etc. Mweke pamoja. Kama kuna Western Union, put someone into a flight today. He goes to France. By tomorrow morning, pay those guys.
Cash.
Give them cash.
Cash
Give
money.
those guys cash.
Cash money.
Yeah.
Because this is not going to be taken. So, of course, first games of the day, all branded Imezibwa. Do you know the president called those fellows?
Called the players.
Called the players.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Right? The president of Kenya called the players. It's on record.
Yeah.
Ask the fellows, guys.
Issue ni gani?
Whatever the issue is, let's try and ensure we can go around and keep our national pride on. Let's just be patriotic. Ingine yaliondwele sipite.
Yaliondwele sipitie.
Sawa mzito, tuko sawa. Sunday morning ilikuwa imetolewa bado tape. Hii kitu hatutoi mpaka tulipwe. Anyway, they paid the tournament, they got back in. So now it's a factor of 2. Umeziba ya serikali, mumongelesha sponsors vibaya. Wale sponsors mlikuwa mkijaribu kutune, wanasema hata kama serikali imeziba mtafanya nini?
Yeah,
so
as guys, what else do we have?
Nowhere to hide. Fast forward. So we proceed on through. After Singapore, we've been in a couple of finals here and there. But already by then, the focus that we actually had on, age grade development, the ability to go around and hone our 15-a-side premier tournaments. Because right at the time, we're trying to go around and make Safari Sevens more vibrant, moving from Arife to Nyayo Stadium, etc. We actually dropped off a tournament for the 15-a-side that used to be called the Super Series.
I remember the Super Series, yeah.
So, of course, everything else was dropped off so that we can focus on Safari Sevens to try and actually mine that tournament. And the end game was such that it can support the Sevens program and potentially also go around and have a trickle effect. So there was a Super Series. It used to have a chairman's select tournament that also had an under-21 segment. Basically, an entire feeder system that was ideally meant to look at the top 100 rugby players in Kenya. Now, if you may not necessarily make the cut for 15-a-side, you'd be able to make the cut for sevens. But all the focal points are now moved into sevens, and not necessarily being able to reverse it using as a feeder system, 15s. What we're basically looking at right now, where we say that we don't actually have a big group of players who actually have very good skill sets, where we're actually saying that the fellows are not being paid. So the fact that the players are not being paid on time is nothing new because we never actually had that ability to sustain it. The problem is that we created a buzz at some point in time that made people believe that that could actually work. But the biggest issue is that we messed up on our entire process, whereby we let the Super Series fall off, we let the chairman select fall off, etc., etc. So all the things that would have been able to go around and give us a very big bread basket, for lack of a better term, to go around and select players, had actually been perhaps pulled off for close to about 8-9 years before then. So even right now, when you start saying that, our rugby accusants, we don't actually have fellows who actually can go around and look at space and whatnot, it's because we actually then narrowed the ability to go around and get a bit more quality, because we did not focus on what we need to focus on for about 8-9 years before then. Ni kama sasa hivi, if you start misusing your water, do you expect it to be sustainable? Even if you actually have a borehole within the next 8-9 years, it's got to be sustainable to say I can actually only use this water, when it's dry. But during the rain season, but you're still pouring water during the rain season. During the dry season, still pouring out, etc. You're not really,
It's kind of like you're taking care of a car's, paint job and interior.
Yes.
But engine, you're not doing oil changes, nanini.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I go back. Process, performance, priorities.
Okay.
That's been the three biggest issue.